テスト。大丈夫ですね。怖い。やっていきましょう。あかりんさん、お弁当食べながらこんにちは。ちょっと待って。隠れるところ？なんでこんなことになってんの？大丈夫？ダメじゃない？ゴワンゴワンしてる。ボルト買った。ガチャン。
This lever must turn on the gas machine. There's nothing happening.
ハンドルがないもんね。ハンドルはどこにあるんだろう。それを探すのが忍者の役目。これで戻る。あれ見つかった？
That should draw the attention of the guards. I should hide.
ちょっと待って、ここに隠れて。もうしょうがないんじゃない？いっぱい来た。ちょっと待って、行かなくね？積んだ。待って、これダメじゃない？カンコレチャンネルさん、こんばんは。こんばんはじゃない、こんにちは。いるよね。高評価ありがとうございます。怖すぎるわ。 出れた。
You there?
待って待って待って待って、なんで
Get me out!
確かに食欲はそそらないゲームですよね。待って待って待って、触れなくてよくない？
Doctor, is that you? Don't you worry about the doctor. Right now, he'll have plenty to keep him busy with his precious
ひなた
machine.
さんもこんにち
It
は。
gives us time to get away.
ボタン見つけたも
I'll
こんに
undo
ち
you.
は。
Get away? Get away where? I can't go anywhere. It'll find me like it found me here. You're mistaken about the
何を見つ
beast.
けたの？
Don't stay with me, or you'll end up the same way.
I'm not leaving without you.
No! Don't inflict this on yourself!
Come on, Sanders. Do it for my conscience.
You are making a mistake, sir. My fate is not your responsibility. The real culprit is Sarah. Her and her accursed paintings.
You're kidding me. You're talking about Sarah
what the-
Hawkins.
The one and only. The legendary. There is no artist more enlightened or cursed than Sarah Hawkins.
BGM 消しました。ごめんなさい。待って待って待って待って待って。
What can you tell me about the
危ない危
Hawkins?
ない危ない。
You should leave before it's too late.
I inspected the scene of the fire and something is not right. Do you think Charles Hawkins could have killed
教
his
えて
wife
きた
and
時あり
faked
が
his
とうござい
own
ます。
death?
What?
BGM 流れっぱな
Of
しになっ
course
てた。
not. He would never have done such a thing. She was the sole purpose of his life.
I don't understand. What's going on this island?
I'm so sorry. We should never have met.
What are you talking about?
Destiny! It has trapped you. Don't let it see you, or you won't be able to escape it. Don't look at it. That's how it finds you.
What finds me?
Sarah Hawkins' visitor. The Shambler.
Sanders,
空を
pull yourself together.
Without her, it's no longer possible to save me.
Sanders!
え
What the hell? Oh God. I got it. Okay. This is insane. What killed him?
ちょっと待ってよ、なんで何が起きたんですか？2階あるのこの部屋。でも何かないのかな？ 待って待って待って、なんかゴワンゴワンになっちゃった。ゴワンゴワンになっちゃった。ザーコザーコザーコ、忍者は帰ります。忍者戻ります。ちょっと待って、あと1回ガス当たったら大変なことになるよね。帰っちゃダメです。鍵ぐらい気合いで。あ、待って、でもずっと出っ放し。当たったら死んじゃうよね。死ぬ？え、抜けられるんですか？
Damn! The gas! Oh, my head.
Later. We need to move on.
あれ ?6 章に進んだ。え？あれ？なんで？
Who goes there? That nightmare again. I need a drink.
ちょっと待って。あれ？
What you say is true.
That is precisely why I'll find evidence.
Fine. Do what you want. I'm just trying to reason with you.
You're awake, Mr. Pierce. How do you feel?
Did I sleep long?
The day is only starting. It's fine.
あのガスは何だ？
How's our fugitive? Dr. Fuller hasn't reported your disappearance to the force, but that'll come soon.
Bradley?
Who else would it be?
Mr. Pierce, are you all right? You look like you saw a ghost.
いやもう絶
There
対
are things I can't
この人は
explain.
仲間。
Tell us.
仲間じゃない。
What
仲
happened?
入れ替わってる。悪い人になってる。
Dr. Fuller seems to be leaving a trail of corpses. Not to mention those strange machines, chains, tools of all kind.
あの
Yes,
ところに寝てた
I've
ら。
been telling you that Fuller uses his patients as guinea pigs.
What I saw was more akin to torture than medicine.
Do you even hear what you're saying? Dr. Fuller is highly respected.
It's the truth, Ethan. And I'll prove it to you. I'm listening,
い
Mr.
や、もっ
Pierce.
と残酷な自習中だと思うよ。
Given the energy he pours into Riverside, I presume it was Fuller's creation.
His father's, to be correct. He was a surgeon on board the Scylla. He founded the hospital in 1904 with funds from the Hawkins family before he died and his son Thomas Fuller took over.
Two families inextricably linked.
Most island families are that way. Captain Fitzroy's father was also a seaman aboard the Scylla.
Powerful families dominating everything.
Yes, and as you could tell, Dr. Fuller is like some crazed emperor.
He wouldn't be happy if he knew we were snooping around.
I know the risks. I don't fear him. Do you wish to know anything else?
I found this at the Hawkins house. The doses seem insane.
Barbiturates. But these doses...
What do you mean?
Half the island is under treatment. What is prescribed here, however, is enough to knock out an ox.
Fuller wrote this prescription to fool everyone into believing she was mad.
Or perhaps her husband wrote it.
Perhaps Charles and Dr. Fuller were in league.
A conspiracy. How dreadful.
I found a file bearing Sarah Hawkins' name in the Institute's basement.
It makes sense. A powerful family like the Hawkins had the means to hide such a disgrace.
But everyone knows the Fullers have been taking care of the Hawkins for at least a generation. And all were aware of Mrs. Hawkins' fragility.
Perhaps, but no one would allow a psychiatric internment.
From what I read in the file, Fuller used her as a subject of his experiments.
Francis Sanders and Sarah Hawkins, subjects of Dr. Fuller. Why those two?
I heard you talking earlier.
Why am I not surprised?
I get the impression you two don't get along.
Intrusive and not very clever. Anyway, let's get back to the business at hand.
What I'm sure of now is that the Hawkins case isn't just an accident.
And what brings you to that conclusion?
The fact that Charles Hawkins survived the fire.
I don't understand. Mr. Hawkins was buried.
That's what he would have you believe.
I have a hard time believing you.
You were there, Bradley. You even opened fire on him.
I'd remember that.
Why would he fake his own death? Do you think he covered up his wife's murder?
That's possible.
It seems hard to swallow. Don't you have anything more concrete, Pierce?
Bradley, what do you remember?
I don't understand your question.
The night we went into the Hawkins mansion. You don't seem to remember the tunnels and what occurred there.
No memory of going down any tunnel. No, we were in the manor, then,
Then what?
The rest is quite blurry. I don't recall how I came back home.
And then?
I went to visit you at the hospital, and called on Marie's help to get you released.
And you don't remember the events of the tunnel?
I don't. Let's talk about something else.
I have flashbacks. They haunt me.
What did they do to you?
There was that Dr. Fuller, and a nurse. Blood everywhere. My legs, the pain, I couldn't bear it. I was screaming. They injected me with something. I woke up at the Institute. Bradley was there.
And how you scared us. You seemed demented.
You likely woke up during the anesthesia. No wonder those memories haunt you. What in God's name were they doing to you?
What happened afterwards?
When I woke up the second time, I was in a padded cell. That's where you found me, Doctor. After you released me, I got a good look at what's in store for the patients of the Riverside Institute. Hallucinogenic gas pumped into the cells. An infernal machine. Horrific medical experiments.
Impossible. Dr. Fuller would never do such a thing.
You should believe it, Ethan. What Mr. Pierce saw is precisely what I've been trying to prove. Did you discover anything else?
I met a Francis Sanders. Do you know him?
そう、フランシ
Of
ス
course, he's a
サンダース
patient. Or was. I haven't seen him since Dr. Fuller had him transferred to the basement.
He knew Sarah Hawkins, and that's what killed him.
What? How did he die?
I'm not sure I can explain it.
Tell me how
空
Mr. Sanders
空飛んで
died.
死んじゃった
I didn't see what, but something was there with us.
Of what do you speak?
Sanders said it was Sarah Hawkins' visitor. He spoke of it like a living being.
Sarah Hawkins? Have I missed something here? This makes no sense. I don't see how it can help crack the Hawkins case.
You really think she's involved? How could she have murdered Mr. Sanders?
Francis Sanders
あの人たち
mentioned
なんだろうね。
Mrs. Hawkins just before dying.
信者っぽいけ
It's
ど
no coincidence.
You know, Francis Sanders was a well-known art collector. I guess you can still pay a visit to his wife, Irene Sanders.
An art collector, you say? That's probably how they met.
If you plan on having dinner at the Sanders household, please spare the widow the tale of her late husband's suffering.
I don't agree. She deserves the truth.
But that truth may be biased. We don't know the bottom of it.
そう、もう家族が敵になっている場合あるから
You're right.
慎重に行きましょう。
Without a plausible explanation for what I saw, let's not jump to conclusions.
That seems wise indeed.
Very well. I'll go to see Francis's widow. Perhaps I'll find a link between her husband's death and Sarah Hawkins.
Don't end up in the hospital this time.
I'll do my best.
やることいっぱいじゃない。暴力暴力あ、ちょっと待って、間に合ってなかった。この人が絵を売ってる人に、この人がお医者さん、裏ビジネス。サンダースの奥さんはどこにいるの？え？こんな感じで出るの？
The other night's events are still confused in my head.
Let us go now and learn the truth about what's happening on this island.
そんな地下もう一回行けばいいんじゃないの？あ、閉じ込められてるね。出れない。消防署も混じってそう。あ、森さん、こんにちに。どうしたらいいんだろう、これ。
What can I do for you, sir?
Mrs. Sanders? I'm a private detective. We must talk about your husband and his ties to Sarah Hawkins. Can I come in?
You may. However, before we go any further, please know that my husband died yesterday.
That is precisely
ああ、待
what
って、カ
brings
ク
me
カク
here.
になっちゃってる。
Well, well, look who's here.
頑張って。え
You know each other.
We met briefly. Time enough to iron out a few matters. The main thing is that we understood one another. The brave detective has a talent for sticking his nose into my business.
I bump into her every time I'm investigating someone's death.
It's a small island, detective. My island. It's better that it's you bumping into me.
You're investigating Francis' death. Why? Who hired you?
I spoke to Francis
ちょっ
before
と
he
待って、テ
died.
クスチャーが
His story suggests a link to a case I'm
なんでこ
working
んな
on.
ぼやーっとしてる
Well, since this business has got nothing to do with me, I'll be in your husband's office, Irene. We'll carry on later.
Very well, Miss Baker.
ベイカーさん
This way, Mr. Pierce. And do make
Thank you,
yourself comfortable. It would seem that you have much to tell me. May I inquire as to when you had the opportunity to talk to my husband?
Yesterday, I met him at the hospital. He spoke to me about
Yesterday?
Sarah Hawkins.
Oh, of course he spoke to you about her. That's all he talked about. Sarah Hawkins and her paintings. Please forgive my tone. The fact is that I have not been allowed to see him since he was interned. You, on the other hand, a perfect stranger, were able to see him and even talk with him the day he died. How was he? Were you present when he had this attack? What happened?
あ、待って、テクスチャーぼやぼやしてる。
I expected to find you more grief-stricken than this by the death of your husband.
I do not like the tone of your allusion, sir. I had long months to weep every tear in my body, and to accept, if not my fate, at least that of my husband. And so I'm sorry to disappoint you if you're expecting more hysteria and grieving widow in my voice. Rest assured, however, my anger is real. I need to understand. How could this happen? In a reputed institute? And right before your eyes? Did you not do anything to help him?
「魔術はそうしてないから」
So ask Fuller, he's the eminent doctor. But I would caution you, you'll find his treatments more terrifying than the illnesses he sets out to cure.
That churl no longer takes the trouble to receive me. He sends his secretary to tell me that I cannot see Francis. Me. His own widow. He must think that I am a terrible wife for having abandoned him in such a way. But I only wanted what was best for him.
I'm not here to
確かに
condemn you,
口紅
Mrs.
が黒だ
Sanders.
と
Oh, I'm tired, Mr.
なん
Pierce.
だか
I would be grateful if you could tell me what you expect of me, and then leave.
悪い人に見えなくもないですね。
How did you come to meet Sarah Hawkins?
We were the wealthiest and most influential families on Darkwater. Of course we would know each other. And when Charles returned from Europe with his sweet little artist, she and her sinister paintings were destined to catch my husband's eye. He bought many of her works over the last 5 years. They adorn his macabre gallery.
May I ask you what Miss Baker is doing here? How do you know her?
My business with Miss Baker is private, Mr. Pierce.
But you do know what kind of business Miss Baker is in, don't you?
I am no fool. Please believe that much at least.
Did your husband talk to you about Sarah Hawkins' visitor? A shambler, to use his precise terms.
Well, you can't imagine that's all he talked about. It's exhibited at the center of the gallery. No better place for the painting that endowed him with the privilege of such a shameful and miserable end to his life.
Hold on. The Shambler is a painting by Sarah Hawkins.
Who else to paint such horrors? Take a look for yourself, if you feel so inclined.
It is my only lead at this stage.
見して
I suppose I have nothing to lose.
くれるんですか？
Then you have paid no heed. For my part, I refuse to set foot in that gallery again. But if you're so eager to see it...
Thank you, Mrs. Sanders. I won't be long.
はい。ちょっと待ってね。とはいえど2ポイントじゃ。魔術。心理学が3になった。間違えちゃった。
I could use one of those. Strange. For months, Sarah Hawkins refused to part with
フ
her
ランシス
painting,
に
to finally give it away for nothing.
どういうこと？破滅。空鬼のこと忘れないでください。どういうこと？買っちゃったら。
A strange Amerindian pendant.
まだある。権力。役に立つ時が来た。鍵。
That's twice you've stepped on my toes, Detective. Try not to make a habit of it.
I've got a lot of bad habits.
Some can be more fatal than others. What have you come looking for in this gallery?
話術が良くなれば滑舌強くなるのかな。いっぱい振ろう。
Another painting by Sarah Hawkins. One connected to the horrors I've discovered on this island.
What a surprise. I'm
面
listening.
白いですよ、このゲーム。このゲームは面白いですよ。
And you? What brings you to the Sanders home?
I'm here on business. Irene asked me to liquidate all these paintings. She doesn't intend to hang around here for long.
Why you?
Believe it or not, there aren't many collectors on Darkwater. It needs someone with a network and a means of transport to the mainland. A choice that comes down to Fitzroy
な
and
るほど
me.
ね。
And I'm far more
この
pleasant,
島じゃ
wouldn't you say?
絵は売れないかな。
Not now, sweetheart. I'd like to read this without some snoop looking over my shoulder.
何の本が読みたいの？
Go take a hike, Detective.
ハイキングに行ってきます。趣味悪いですね。何これ？骸骨になってる。怖い。
These artifacts date from pre-Columbian times. The man transformed an entire wing of his manor into an art gallery.
こんな部屋広いの？趣味がよろしくない。怖いのばっかりある。気をつけない。うわっうわっ。待って待って待って、絵に食べられちゃう。待って待って待って。やだやだやだやだやだ。目がないから目は良くないはず。
What the hell was that?
待って待って待って。なになになに、どこどこどこどこどこ。ちょっと待ってよ。スキップ。
What the hell was that?
どこにいたの？早く逃げよう。迅速に逃げよう。どこどこどこどこどこどこ、クレイジットどこ？クレイジット、
I can't even touch it.
待って待って待って、やだやだやだやだ。来てる来てる来てる来てる。出ていいのかな。
No way out. No choice. I must get rid of it. Oh, God.
ちょっと待って。ここ脱出したのやめたいんだけど。 もう今日やめようかな。スキップ。
What the hell was that?
どうしたらいいんだろう。ちょっと待って、もうちょっと頑張らして。
What the hell was that?
ちょっと待って、これが調べられる。アルコールランプやんけ。
That thing came out of this painting. There has to be a link. Maybe if I destroy it. That thing came out of this painting. Is this dagger part of Sanders' collection, or was he seeking to acquire it? Down.
Oh. じゃあ最後にいけるかな。
What the hell was that?
めっちゃしてて。
Is this dagger part of Sanders' collection, or was he seeking to acquire it? Down. Maybe I can use this dagger.
はいはいはい。急いで急いで。
Damn it! This dagger didn't work. Damn it! I have to use a specific dagger.
どれどれどれこれどれこれじゃない。あ、これじゃない。
This dagger looks different.
桃木はグレート。
What's the matter with you?
ちょっと待ってよ。
You sure you won't be
Save-
needing that hand? You're losing it, Detective. At this rate, you're right. The bottle will get you before I do.
You didn't see anything.
I saw you within an inch of putting a dagger through your forearm. Did I miss something more interesting?
あ、まだ続く。
I was attacked by a creature. I pushed it back, I think.
I think so too.
You knew. You knew about the beast.
What are you talking about? Think yourself lucky that I saved your hand, even if it was to save my goods.
You mean me?
Don't flatter yourself, sweetheart. I'm talking about the contents of this gallery. And by the way, where do you think you're going with that dagger?
It saved my life. It's an extraordinary dagger.
You should talk to Algernon Drake. He's an antique dealer here on Darkwater. He'll tell you all about it. From what I saw in the ledgers, it was him who sold it to Sanders.
It's not your style to give me free information like that.
Take it as payment for being my canary. A simple trade-off. Now go see your antique seller. I still got things to settle with Irene.
この人はでも優しいかもしれないですね。なに鍵ずっと見てない？カクカクになっちゃう。グラフィック下げたのに。じゃあロード時間中に締めの挨拶を。ご視聴ありがとうございました。明日も起きれたら続きやりたいと思います。お疲れ様です。バイバイ。